Hello to no one. Got 0 viewers. What I'm gonna do in this live stream is I'm gonna do my nighttime chores because I have a job interview tomorrow morning and I want to be prepared for that. So I'm gonna start by doing the dishes or whatever. My God. I still have no viewers. Thank you for watching the replay. Okay. Towel. No good. We gotta put that away. We gotta put that away. I should get my tripod. Is what I should do. Or maybe I could actually use my fucking, what's it called? My ring lights. Interesting. Okay, hang on. Okay. Now, gonna make it higher. Hey, guess what's not high? Me! Not high. Okay? It's getting even higher. You know who wishes they were getting even higher? Me. Ah, there we go. Okay, let's lock it in. Very cool. Okay. So now I can just bring the tripod around with me. Hello to my first viewer, welcome. What I'm doing is I'm going to do my nighttime chores so that I can wake up in the morning and have a job interview. Today was my second full day sober. Last night was a nightmare. I went to go to bed and I realized when I got in bed that I hadn't eaten anything except for some soup in the morning and some candy. And so I got in bed, I took all my nighttime meds, and then I got in bed and I realized that I didn't feel so good and I was like, oh shit, I should eat something. And I took like one bite of an apple and then I threw up. And I cannot remember the last time I threw up ever. I do not throw up. I have a very strong stomach, but the emotion of yesterday was just too fucking much. And I don't know. I was sober again today. I went to an NA meeting again today. And I talked again in the NA meeting, which is good. I feel like, in NA they say that you're supposed to do 90 meetings in 90 days. And, well, second day that I've talked in the meeting, so that's what we're going to count it as. This stand is awkward. Okay. Okay, so. Yes, I am doing my nighttime chores. What are my nighttime chores? Well, first of all, I have to lay out my outfit for tomorrow. Oh, what do you wear to a job interview? A Zoom job interview. Let's see. Let's look in my closet. I don't know. This could be cute and fun. See that? Okay. I mean, oh, I hate all my clothing. I love that. Here's my DILF shirt that I never wear. It's like, I thought this was so clever when I saw it, but then, like, I saw it everywhere. And everybody knew the joke. This is actually a really sick-ass t-shirt I bought. It's a fucking wolf. I bought this on a date. Because I've thought about it, and so the person I went on a date with was non-binary, and I saw when we met up, first of all, my pictures look like me, so people are fully aware that I'm a little fat and they know what my face looks like and all of that. But I saw immediate disappointment when this person met me, and I've really thought about it, and I think it's because they thought that I was a trans woman, and it was like obvious in person that I was not. I get that a lot actually from my photos. People ask me if I'm trans. So sorry. Sorry to disappoint. I'm just a regular old bearded cis lady. Here's my bed. I'm wearing a sweater and a t-shirt and my belly and an undershirt. Oh, I'm not even gonna lie, I thought there would be more people in here. Too bad. Maybe I should share it to my blog. I'm gonna do that. Because, like, I need attention, obviously. Let's see. Oh, I'm already on my blog. Okay, let's get this right. I'm gonna go to YouTube and I'm gonna find the link for this. Still no viewers. I'm not popular anymore. You know, I used to be kind of famous on the internet. Now nobody gives a shit. Oh, okay. View my channel. Here I am live. Maybe I should change the thumbnail. Maybe I should change the thumbnail to like a cuter picture of me. I could do that. Let me turn this just a little. Hello viewer, thank you for joining. I am finding a better picture of myself for this thumbnail because I'm not happy with the amount of people in here. Yeah. All photos. Maybe I should use an old photo of myself. Back when I was cuter. No, not that old. How about... Oh, hi, buddy. I'll use that one. I look good there. Get down, Binks. Yeah. That's a good one. Crazy. I do not like watching myself on live stream. If I can hear myself if I put in a headphone. Hello, one viewer. Unless that's me, I might be the viewer. This is like changes. Okay. There, I changed it so that I have a prettier picture. And now I'm gonna put it on my, wait, did I press? Oh, it just froze, damn it all. Copy that. Okay, well, I posted it onto my blog. I mean, it's 12:45 in the evening. Where is my audience? You know? Is this a filter? Can I do filters on here? I can! Oh my gosh, dream. Fun spa glamour. Oh, I look very glamorous. Beam 8mm. Wow, these are really stupid. I like Dream though. So guess I better get to it then. Can I exit out of here? Thank you. Oh no, I don't want to stop streaming. No! This is so rude. Color. Oh, that's the mute button. Got it, got it, got it. What's that? I don't know. Okay, so let me pick out my outfit for tomorrow. Oh, this filter is a nightmare. Let's not use this one. Normal. Hello. Okay. So I think that what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wear my pink shirt tomorrow. I think I'm gonna wear my pink shirt. It is a nice button-down shirt, or I don't know if it actually is. It's just the button-down shirt that I wear and feel comfortable in. This pink shirt. I'm gonna wear this pink shirt for my job interview, and you know what? I'm even gonna wear jeans. I'm gonna wear pants. So, you know it's serious. Ah! Jesus Christ, could I hit that camera a little more? And I'm even gonna wear a bra. I'm a professional woman, and by a bra, I mean a sports bra. Because that is all that I wear. Because I don't know if you guys saw the OnlyFans era, but I got some big old boobies. And sports bra is, once I started, I never went back. Okay. Uh-oh. My underwear covered up my space heater. That's how you start a fire. Okay, now I gotta make sure that my alarm is set correctly. 11:30? I don't think so. 1, 2, 3, 8:30. I think that seems fine. My job interview is not until 9, is not until 10 tomorrow morning, so I think that I will be fine. And okay. That, and then I also need to put out my cup for my coffee. Thank you for the thumbs up. I too enjoy me and my content. Much appreciated. Okay, well, use this coffee cup today, but I'm gonna use it again. So what I do, so I'm not a morning person, right? So I gotta set up all kinds of gimmicks to get myself out of bed in the morning. And one of them is I take my coffee and I drink coffee out of tea bags because I have ADHD and I'm an addict. So if I have a regular coffee pot, I will drink the entire pot of coffee to myself in 2 hours or something. I mean, you wouldn't believe the amount of coffee I was going through before I got on stimulants. And even these days, with the ADHD meds and an energy drink and whatever, I'm still functional. And my blood pressure is like 110/70, so how bad can I be doing, right? I'm so sad that my diamond art is done, because look what I've resorted to. Fucking puzzle book. Like grandma. I for real need to get another diamond art, like ASAP, immediately, because I was having so much fun doing that one, and it was like my stimming thing that I would do while I was listening to Book on Tape or a Narcotics Anonymous meeting. And now it's gone, and I don't know what to do with my time when I need to listen to things. I am breaking this apart. Look what happened. It's my fucking whiteout. Okay. Get open. God damn it. Is it open enough? I think it's open enough. Oh, no, it's not. Oh, God. What is happening? Am I not supposed to open this? How are you supposed to fix it then? I don't understand. Oh, it came apart by itself. Cool. Okay, so what is it that needs to happen here? We need the big... Okay, so it's loose somehow, and I need to tighten it up. And, oh God, and I lost a piece. I may have actually just broken this. Let's see. Okay. Now... Yeah, I think I actually just broke that, so I'm probably just gonna throw it away. Sorry. Binks, get away. Hey. Look at my whiteout. Look at how useful my whiteout is. I came in a pack of 2 though, so I've still got one, I guess. For my nighttime drink. Oh, hi Sammy. Things are going great. Things are going so good. Do you want to know how good they're going? This morning, I woke up and I smoked one of those hemp cigarettes and I felt so sick, right? And I woke up after sleeping for 4 hours to the staffing agency calling me 4 times between 8:30 and 9:30. And then I smoked one of my hemp cigarettes and it made me feel really sick and irritable. And then I went to McDonald's because I was so hungry last night, and I took my pills on an empty stomach, and then I vomited, which I don't ever recall vomiting in this apartment before. I've lived here for 10 years. And I don't throw up. It's just not, it's a family trait. I don't throw up. So I threw up last night. I woke up this morning, I was so hungry. I smoked one of those cigarettes. I'm eating this McDonald's cheeseburger. It's also making me feel like shit. And I'm just so emotionally vulnerable and sensitive that I'm worried about being fat, and I don't have a job, and the staffing agency wasn't calling me, or they did call me, and now I have a job interview. And so I was just sitting in the Cub Foods grocery store parking lot crying and eating a cheeseburger. So yeah, I would say that things are going pretty well for me right now. I did stay sober today though, so you know, can't ask for more than that, I guess. One day at a time. And there we go. Okay. At least you had a cheeseburger while you cried. You know what? It wasn't even a cheeseburger. It was a McDouble. There was no cheese on there. Ah! Pathetic. Put my hair out in a ponytail. At least I showered today. I'm clean and serene, you know what I mean? Yeah, I went back to the NA meeting today and they gave me claps for coming back on day 2. But then also today, I posted about this on my blog and I'm sorry if you read that. But also today I was like, hey, you know, if I am a mentally ill drug addict and it takes up all my time and I like suffer all the time as a mentally ill drug addict, is my life worth living? Like in a real sense. I'm fine, I'm safe, but you know, sometimes I've dedicated my whole life to getting better. Like my whole adult life has been dedicated to just navigating my addiction and my mental illness. And well, I'm almost 40, so guess this is going to continue into my 40s. And then, you know, at the end of it all, is it going to have been worth it? I don't know. It's hard to say. And like, I'm not suicidal or anything, but I'm not suicidal, but do I want to drink myself to death right now? Yes. Yes, I do. I'm not gonna do it, but it is a very real urge I'm having. So, you know, it just sounds so nice. Just fucking check out. So, I'm having this debate with my sisters who brush and then floss and then use mouthwash. Personally, I think that's disgusting. Floss, then brush. Floss, then brush. And people are like, well, then you just get all the stuff you flossed out. It just goes back between your teeth. You rinse. Rinse after you floss, and then you brush. Oh my god. I have a permanent retainer all through there, and so I have to thread it like a needle. Brush before floss is criminal, dude? Absolutely. That is disgusting. And I tried it yesterday morning, and my teeth were so unclean. I was like, is this how you walk around all the time? This is revolting. I hate being sober. I hate being sober. I don't want to be sober. I don't want to be here. I don't want to live inside of my body in my life. And like, I know it will pass, as it has passed before. I have, I've relapsed before. I will relapse again probably, but damn, this time I just want to die. I mean, it's crazy. And I'm saying that's a feeling that I'm having, not an action I'm going to take. I'm feeling like I want to get a bottle of gin and drink so much that I have to go to the hospital. And like, I'm going to have to go to club tomorrow. I'm going to film club tomorrow, and I'm going to have to tell them that I'm not going to be at book club on Tuesday. And I know they're going to ask why. And like I can say, hey, I relapsed, and I need, because they are all aware that I'm a recovering addict. I can say, hey, I relapsed and I need to go to this meeting so I can get a sponsor, blah 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 blah. But you know what I don't want to say is, yeah, I relapsed on weed. You know, when do you feel like drinking or using the most? Well, I feel like drinking the most right now. Probably yesterday and today. This is the most I've wanted to drink since I quit 4.5 years ago. It is really serious, actually. Uh, and then in general, like when do I want to drink the most besides that is usually when I am relaxing, actually. It's when I'm relaxing, it's when I am watching a movie. And do you know what I want when I drink? I want a little tumbler and I want 2 fingers of whiskey and just to sip it. That's all I want. But no, I'll die. That's not an exaggeration. I know I've mentioned this before, but I used to run with a crowd of alcoholics, and one of my very good friends, someone who, you know, she always used to say to me, you know, we're real friends. We're not like these other fake people. We're real friends. And like we even like slept together a couple times, you know. She died of alcoholic liver failure when she was 35 years old. And she was, I think, maybe a year older than me. And like, there's just no reason that I would be alive now if I didn't quit drinking when I did. Through the pandemic? Through the panini? Working at home? Like, I've drank gin in the morning before. Not how you want to be entering a meeting. Sorry to hear that. Does that scare you? Thank you for showing concern. Cool girl, you are cool. Yeah, it does scare me. It does scare me. I don't feel like I'm 100% in control right now. Same happened to my grandma, but she was in her 60s. Yeah. Alcoholics rarely live into their 60s. The men start dying in their 40s and the women start dying in their 50s typically. But yeah, I don't want to go to a film club tomorrow and be like, sorry guys, I can't make it to book club on Tuesday because I relapsed on weed and I need a sponsor. Honestly, every time I say that, I want to say but don't worry. I used to smoke crack too, and heroin, and I did bath salts too. So, I know it's just weed, and we in our society have decided that anyone criticizing weed as not the best for you, and especially for addicts. Because people are so brainwashed. People think that you can't get addicted to weed. There's nothing addicting about weed. Hey, you know what? Heroin has a component that physically addicts you, right? That weed probably doesn't. But people get addicted to gambling. People get addicted to sex. Those aren't injecting chemicals into you that make your brain literally dependent on it, right? And like marijuana alters your brain chemistry. Thanks, cool girl. Have a good day. But I think that there's this stigma attached to, pointing out the very real problems with marijuana because it was so unfairly maligned by the right wing for so long, saying that it causes you to be a murderer and a rapist and all of these things. And it was ridiculous. And so, I was of that position too, where it's like weed is so much less dangerous than alcohol. It's so much less dangerous than cigarettes. And it just makes you chill out. Like, it's no problem at all, marijuana. But, you know, but you can get addicted to it just like anything else. I know, because I've been addicted to multiple substances, and weed is probably the hardest one to break. One, because it's so socially acceptable, and two, it's not going to kill me the way that alcohol was going to kill me. There's this thing in recovery where they say, you know, you need to shoot the gator closest to the boat. And it was alcohol first, cigarettes second, and I have been struggling for like since I relapsed in December, and I have been struggling since then. Oh. Sorry, I saw there was a message and I didn't read it. Wait, where's the chat? Come back. Hi, chat. I've seen weed ruins multiple family members' lives. It's insane how brainwashed people are about weed, especially in Canada where it's legal all over. Yeah, I mean, like, I don't deny that weed, for some people, is good. It's good for some people. Like, if you have a chronic pain condition, I would never judge you for using weed, you know, but like for me, for recovering addicts, ugh. Circa Droid. Hi, I'm new to your channel. I just wanted to say that you are one of the realest people on YouTube, and I appreciate you sharing your journey with us. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm like, I don't have the editing skills to be an influencer or even really a vlogger. But you know, I think I'm compelling in my authenticity. So thank you. Did I already floss my bottom teeth? Better safe than sorry. Oh, god damn it. And like, I'm going to Thanksgiving, and like, my uncle has been growing weed. My uncle has this enormous weed operation in his garage in the suburbs. But he's actually just interested in the botany. And so he barely uses his own product, so he's just giving it out by the ounce to my family. Everybody in my family is high as fuck right now. Including my mom. Hey, did you ever have a mom where she was high like more than half the time you've been around her in your entire life? I do. At least it was better than the couple years where she was drinking and she got arrested for cocaine when I was 8. That must be so difficult to navigate. Yes, unfortunately. Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah. Parents addicted to drugs, that's a problem. And we don't know if my dad was addicted to drugs, but there's a very strong suspicion that maybe he was doing uppers. Because the first house that I lived in until I was in kindergarten, and we had this neighbor named Dee Dee. And she had these big dogs that we would play with, and like I went to a garage sale, she'd give us popsicles, whatever, right? And then we moved when I was in kindergarten. We lived in a whole other house, in a different town. My parents got divorced. My dad moved to even a different place, right? But it came, so basically my dad died when I was 14, right? And we found out that he'd been hanging out with this woman, Dee Dee, the whole time. And like, she was not a woman who he would be cheating with, although he certainly was a cheater. But like, she was, 20 years older than him. I don't think so. And basically, then we found out that Dee Dee got murdered. Yeah, we read it in the newspaper that, first we read that both of her dogs got poisoned. These big ass dogs that she would have around the townhouse, right? And we were like, who would poison a dog? That is horrible. And then it was in the newspaper that Dee Dee got murdered and had her body thrown in like like an asphalt pit or something like that. And it turned out she was like an heiress of some kind, but she was living in a poor neighborhood, you know. And that she was selling meth. So she was a meth dealer. And my dad hung out with her for like 9 years after we moved away. And he was like a type A workaholic, would work literally all night, not sleep at all, then go into the office, right? He was like a business owner, CEO type asshole. And so, and then my brother-in-law, who is also in IT, met a guy who used to work for my dad. And he said, this guy said that he would remember going to parties at my dad's house where there would just be trays of cocaine out. And, you know, I think he may have been lying to me when he said that he never done drugs in his whole life. Can't ask him now. Look at this. Violation. Gonna get on that shaky ass table? What in the fuck? So you see his pretty new collar? Look at it, it's gold and black. You know what's funny? Is that I didn't want to get him the gold collar because my skin tone clashes with gold. I only wear silver jewelry because I'm cool toned, right? And so I was like, oh, you can't get gold. But then it was like the only decent collar that PetSmart had, so I bought it and I was like, wait, Binks doesn't have cool tones? He can wear gold. Fashionable pussycat. That was my nickname in college. Why is my mouth so red? I've been eating these Italian ices. Guess what they're called? Hang on, I'm gonna bring you to the fucking kitchen. That's words. Words, that's what we're doing. We're using words. I've been eating these Italian ices and they're called Wendy's. This hole is for me. It's my hole. Okay, my brother-in-law gave me a bottle of fake whiskey. And it is the most realistic fake liquor I have ever smelled in my life. I had it in some cider at their Halloween party, and if somebody served me this at a restaurant, I would send it back and say, I ordered non-alcoholic. It tastes like alcohol. It's amazing what they can do these days. Okay, so I have my outfit laid out. I have my alarm clock set. I have my coffee set up. I need to do the dishes. So I don't even know how to film me doing the dishes. Hang on, we're gonna require some stuff. Okay, you're way up high now. You're so high up there. Okay. I don't know, maybe I need to be a little higher. I wish I was higher right now. I've made that stupid joke twice in this live stream now. Okay, dishes. Okay, so first of all, that's disgusting. That is a fucking burrito. Which is the only thing I could force myself to eat today, by the way. Except for that cheeseburger. I didn't even eat the fries. I'm just not hungry. Because despite my chipper demeanor, I am not well right now. And I'm gonna have me a fake beer. If I can't actually get drunk, I may as well pretend that I am. So, I'm gonna have me a fake beer and I'm gonna do the dishes. You can ask me questions while I'm doing the dishes and I will do my best to respond. Okay. No, I don't like this angle. It needs to be lower. Lower. Slightly more tipped up. And then lower. Higher. There we go. I'm not gonna, there we go. Sorry if random, but I wanted to thank you a while back on your Tumblr. You talked a bit about Sacred Heart music, and I listened to it now and I'm addicted. Sacred Heart music is a beautiful American art form. I love art that is unique to America, like the Sacred Heart music and some of the my family's from West Virginia, so like that mountain music, I love it. I don't even care if they're singing about Jesus. That's just cool. That's fine with me. Let's see here. I'm gonna put you on a box of beef broth. This is what you're gonna sit on while I do the dishes. Fuck. This is incredible content I'm making right here. Ah, you're behind the beef broth. Why is life so fucking hard? I have my other tripod now. Jesus Christ. How hard is it to film one lady doing the dishes? There we go. I kind of like using the stand because you get a much wider angle than when I'm just holding it, you know? This off. Take this off too. Woo! I was thinking about starting my OnlyFans again, but then I was like, no, I'm not gonna do that. I don't want to do that. Although, I am on Blue Sky now, and apparently you can post nudes on there. Haven't done it yet, but likely will. So if you haven't followed me on Blue Sky, which is a far superior platform to Tumblr, or not to Tumblr, it's not superior to Tumblr. Tumblr is the best social media that's ever been invented. But Blue Sky is so much better than Twitter right now. Like, I don't know what happened to the Twitter algorithm, but all of a sudden, I've just am being shown violent videos all the time, like snuff videos. And it's not because I'm interacting with them, it's not because I follow any accounts like that. I don't do gore. I don't watch gore. And all of a sudden, my feed is just flooded with snuff videos. So, that's one thing that Blue Sky has over Twitter is there's not just, the algorithm trying to feed you traumatic content. There is no algorithm on Blue Sky, it seems. That's probably not true, but it feels true. And, Instagram does that too. Hate that. And I feel so bad for the moderators who have to deal with it, but I don't know. It feels intentional. And I don't know why, because I don't even watch the videos. I watch them long enough to figure out that they're snuff videos, and then I move on. But yeah, I'm kind of building a new presence on Blue Sky because there's a lot of things that I think throughout the day that I'm not gonna put on my Tumblr because it's who wants to read multiple short form text posts from me on Tumblr, when people are on my Tumblr for one of two reasons. Either they are interested in me personally, or they are interested in the images that I post, and it seems to be, far more weighted towards people who are just there for the pictures, and, not me. And so I thought, maybe I could do like a little separation of duties between the websites. Wow. You know how long this water's been running? Ice cold. Ice cold. It is so fucking cold here in Minnesota. I had to wear my winter jacket today and yesterday. It's in the 30s. It's snowing. Which, I mean, good, I guess, because winter didn't happen last year here. It was just one of those weird fucking years where it didn't snow. Second time I've seen it in my life. I'm 37, and the other time I saw it was like in 2012, something like that. Things are getting weird. Tragic news from my niece, my 7-year-old niece, Charlie. One of her woolly worms died. And she called me to tell me about it. That it was like, I don't know, the woolly worms were named something like Sir Wilhelm and Lady Wilhelmina or something. And Lady Wilhelmina died. And she called me and she was telling me that, you know, Lady Wilhelmina, she was a different texture than the other woolly worm. And she wasn't moving and blah, 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 and that it was really sad. And I feel so sad for her. She loved those goddamn woolly worms. Yeah, and she, like, my sister had a house fire recently, too. And my 7-year-old niece, it happened while they were out. And my 7-year-old niece walked into the house and saw the fire first. And she's, like, processing. I mean, she's drawing pictures of it. She's, like, she really wants to talk about it a lot. And, Jesus Christ, she's had quite a couple weeks. The day after the house fire, where everybody was fine. Yeah, R.I.P. Lady Wilhelmina. She was a good worm. And they even had their own jar that was like a terrarium, because my other sister is an artist and she makes like art terrariums, and so she made a little terrarium for them. And but yeah, so they had this house fire, and while I was on the phone with Charlie today, she said, do you think maybe it's because some of the smoke got into their jar? And we had to tell her, like, no, sweetie, no, it's the smoke didn't get in the jar. It was all sealed up, so, you know, it's nothing that you did, it's nothing that the fire did, it's just, this is just happens sometimes. And it's like, do they know what caused it? I don't know. She's 7. She's 7 and she's been bringing out these woolly worms every 20 minutes for the past couple weeks. I think it probably died from exhaustion or something like that. But we're not going to tell her that. Oh shit, what was I going to say? But yeah, she's reaching an age where she's really interested in death. And I don't know how to talk to her about that, because my sister is religious and I'm not. I don't believe in an afterlife. But my 7-year-old niece does. And so she asked me questions about dying and death, and I'm never really sure how to answer them. Like, the other week, she knows that my dad is dead. She knows that my dad died when me and her mom were kids, right? But the other week she asked me, how did your dad die? Do they know what caused it? Oh, you meant the fire. Yeah, my sister was just popping out the door with my 3-year-old nephew, Jimmy, to go pick Charlie up at school. And in the 15 minutes that they were gone, she had left a candle burning on the dinner table. And on his way out, my 3-year-old nephew grabbed an orange and pulled the orange netting over the candle. And by the time they got back, the entire house was completely pitch black with smoke. The entire dining room table was on fire. They have 4 pets. They have like 2 dogs and 2 cats. And so
you know, my sister's in there trying to put it out by dumping, you know, bowls of water from the kitchen sink onto the dining room table, and she's like choking, and then she had to try and find the dogs and stuff, and she said, because she said that they were hiding, and so she just like took a breath outside, ran in through the back door, and just blindly, pitch black, like ran through the whole house, and was just calling their names. And she said when she came out the front door that there were 2 dogs behind her, and so the dogs are okay. The cats are also okay. One of the cats, Georgie, was a tuxedo cat, but instead of being black and white, now he's black and gray. She took him to the vet, obviously, because if you have a house fire, you're supposed to take the animals to the vet to make sure that they don't have any burns inside of their mouth from smoke inhalation. They might be in pain, you don't know. But the doctor said that Georgie was fine, but they gave her some sedatives so she could really scrub him with some Dawn dish soap. But yeah, Minnie says, oh wait, hang on one second. Live chat. Oh my god, that's insane. Oh wait, Sammy, I had a Mormon cousin decided to shame my mom is going to hell because she smokes cigs. Kids are wild. Yeah, that's not polite. Oh my god, that's insane and so sad. Glad everyone is okay though. Yeah, I mean, except my sister. Like, she has just been, you know, she's a mom of 2 kids. Her husband could be more involved in the housework and the child rearing, and I'm gonna leave it at that, to be polite. And it's, you know, so on top of everything, on top of my 7-year-old niece, my autistic 3-year-old nephew, and her man-child husband, she's had to like pull double duty, like scrubbing smoke and soot off the walls. They had to wash every piece of clothing in the house. I mean, it got everywhere. And yeah, so I feel bad for her, you know, like sometimes I feel really sad that I'm single and I don't have any kids. But I also recognize that there are enormous benefits to choosing this kind of life, because it's so much less hassle and so much less work for other people. You know, I like it to spend all of my energy on myself. And I think that I would choose that over the other thing, honestly. I'm just not built for it. I can barely take care of myself. Did you guys notice my tits? I was looking at them earlier today. One of them is way bigger than the other. Like, it looks like when I take a nude photo of myself topless, it looks like one of my boobs is just like, it's the googly eye is looking the different direction. But, not that it's doing me any good. I've been celibate for 5 years, with only one exception, twice. And, you know, celibate, single, and sober for 5 years. I've done a thing that I think that a lot of people aim for. I didn't do it on purpose, but, I mean, I kind of did. I mean, who am I kidding? I'm a woman. I'm not a sea monster. I could get laid easily, very easily, but, you know, I've just been working on myself. Wow. And also, men frighten me very much. Very, very much. Today in DBT class, I had a 2-hour DBT group therapy today, before I spent 2 hours at an NA meeting. And they were talking about being assertive, right? And asking for what you need while maintaining your self-respect. And oh my god, Minnesota is so pathetic. Like, they were like, okay, everybody raise your hand. As a sea monster, I'm offended. I'm sorry. I just, you know, Minnesota, we're landlocked for 1,000 miles in every direction. So, you know, it's just out of place here. You get so much penis. Penis. That used to be me. I won't tell you my body count, but that's because I don't know what it is. And pussy. Anyway. But, yeah, single, celibate, sober. I don't want to be within 5 feet of a man, to be honest. Yeah, not a strange man. But anyway, yeah, in DBT today, they were like, okay, everybody by show of hands, if a waiter gave you the wrong meal at a restaurant, how many of you would ask for the right dish? And I was one of 2 people in the group who raised their hand that I would have the balls to tell the waiter that they served me the wrong dish. It's a cultural thing in Minnesota. It's so sad. Please, I'm begging you to be more assertive. Like, Jesus Christ. But then the next question was, okay, let's test our assertiveness a different way. Let's say someone budges in front of you in line at the store. See, little word. Fuck man. Depends on if I would like the dish given to me. Yeah, I suppose. Like, I can let it go. Dude, I followed you on Tumblr a decade ago, and I didn't find out until later that we live in the same city. What the fuck? Oh my gosh, Savannah. Savannah Bloom. Sorry, Savannah, I had to investigate for a moment. That's a pseudonym used by an ex-friend of mine. What part of Minneapolis do you live in? Like, just vaguely, just neighborhood-wise? You don't have to tell me. But anyway, the next thing they asked for in DBT is, what would you do if someone budged in front of you in line? And everybody was like, raised their hand that, like, they would say something. And I was like, hell no! I'm not saying anything. Uptown. I'm in Uptown quite frequently, actually. I don't usually, like, share any details about where I live, but let's just say that I live in the West Bank area, which is a neighborhood in Minneapolis for anyone confused. Anyways, and I was like, hell no, I wouldn't say anything if someone budged in front of me. I was like, first of all, people are crazy. Second of all, this person knows that they just jumped the line in front of me. They know that they did that. They did it on purpose. And why the fuck would I start a confrontation with a strange man who is knowingly disrespecting me and violating my space? Why would I talk to that person? Why would I confront that person? Like, you're stupid. You know, and I was like, listen, I've been the victim of random acts of violence a lot in my life. Like, at least 3 times. And, like, there's no fucking way I'm confronting some random dude who, like, budged in front of me. No. I'll wait an extra 5 minutes. I'm not doing that. Yeah, you're right. Right? Yeah. And, the leader of the group was like, see, this is why I love talking about these things in group, because you've just demonstrated assertiveness right now by not agreeing with me. Wow. He's like attached. Do you understand? He's like tethered to me. Hello. It's because he doesn't know that you guys are there. He thinks I'm talking to him. This happens during therapy and during meetings too. Every time I'm talking in my house, it's for him. It's for him. Okay, so I did the dishes. I'm gonna get up at 8:30 for my 10 o'clock job interview. That's what those are called. And well, I'm definitely gonna be sober for it. Can't say that for the job interview I had last week. But yeah, it's a really interesting position I'm interviewing for. It's like, basically I would be working
for the staffing agency as like a permanent temp, right? So they would like put me on contracts for 3 to 6 months, and I would work at one business, and then the job would be done, and then they assigned me to another 3 to 6 month contract at a completely different business doing completely different things. And I think it sounds really interesting. I love the idea of getting some variety in my surroundings. I have worked staring at this fucking wall in my bedroom since COVID began. My only workstation. And I love the idea of like leaving my house, getting some steps in during the day. Do you know what I'm averaging? I have had to stretch and reach to just make 2,000 steps a day. That's how small my apartment is, and when I don't leave to go anywhere, that's how many steps I'm getting. But yeah, the idea of like going to different places, meeting different people. I'm very personable. I'm very comfortable talking to people. And also, you know, they don't hire temps because things are going great. They hire temps because things are on fire. So I just imagine this position as just me showing up and being really smart and capable and just like helping and helping and helping and helping while they're trying to work through a difficult problem. And I think it's just a fantastic networking job. You know, I really want this job. So my second interview for that job is tomorrow, and I would really love to have it. Oh my god, because I had a job interview last week and I completely fucked it up. And because I got the job interview through the staffing company, through the staffing agency, they let me know what it was I said in my interview that turned them off so much. So, you know, I didn't realize this was part of job interviews now, but like they can ask you why you're not working at your last job. I thought in days past that was taboo. Like you're not supposed to ask someone why they're not at their last job. But like, sorry, I'm gonna sneeze. For the cat while I sneeze. So I had this job interview last week. It was for the company that makes all of the desserts for the Cheesecake Factory. And all the cake pops for Starbucks. And it sounded like a great position, just like lower. I feel like since COVID, they have started asking that question. Yeah, well, that would make sense because it's my first job search since then. I mean, I've been employed at the same job since 2018. So I just, you know, and I got the job that I had for 6 years through the same staffing agency, and it was the first interview I went on. And yeah, but anyway, so I've been trying to sugarcoat why I left my last job. The real reason I left my last job is because my new supervisor was a micromanaging psycho cunt who made me want to unalive myself every single day. And I tried really hard to make it work. I really tried to fit her standards, but she is unbearable, and I hope that she goes to hell. But I got to sugarcoat that for the job interview with the Cheesecake Factory people, right? So they're like, so why are you on the job market? What brings you to the job market? And you know, I guess it's in my favor to say that I didn't get fired from my last job. I quit. And what I said was, well, you know, I was at my last job for 6 years. I really, really flourished for 5 of those years. But then in the last year, I got a new supervisor, and, you know, her management style and my working style just really clashed. And, you know, we tried really hard
to work it out. We had conversations. We did conflict resolution through HR. I mean, like, we really tried to make it work, but in the end, I felt like the job just wasn't right for me anymore, and so I left. And I didn't get the job on that interview, and the staffing agency called me and said, "Why did you mention that you talked to HR?" Why did you mention that? Because that's gonna be a giant no-no in job interviews. Don't say you talked to HR about your supervisor. And I can't even explain it in the correct way, because the reason I talked to HR about my supervisor is because my supervisor was blatantly discriminating against me for my ADHD, like, blatantly. Like, would tell me stories about her son who has ADHD and what a moron he is and how she has to keep such close track of him because he can't do anything. And that, well, she had me turning in a timesheet in 5-minute increments every single week of everything that I did all week long in 5-minute increments every single week for 7 months. And then I turned it in on Friday, and then on Monday morning we had a meeting where she would tell me that I suck. So, yeah, let's see, wait. That's insane though. Like, what? Yeah. What the fuck? You're not supposed to advocate for yourself? No. You're supposed to not involve HR. Or at least not mention it. Jesus. Right? What is HR for if not to use in situations that negatively impact workflow? Well, HR, I mean, basically, like, respectfully, I honestly think that HR is just there to fire you. I don't think that they're there. HR is not your friend. They're not there for the employees. They're just there to try and not get the company sued when you get fired. Yeah. They are literally a resource for humans. Well, shit, now you know. Whoops, right? Yeah. They just didn't want me to sue because my boss was, like, blatantly discriminating against me for my ADHD. And, like, I had witnesses. I had, like, just, like, from her mouth, like, "Oh, I see you improved a little bit here." And she was like, "I think that as you get more therapy, your productivity will continue to increase." Like, so all these deficiencies that you think I have at work, you think are a result of my disability? And you're gonna mention that in a performance meeting? Wow, that is illegal. But anyway, yeah, so that's how I didn't get the Cheesecake Factory job. So I'm not gonna mention that tomorrow, or at least I'll just sugarcoat it even more. Some people need to be humbled so bad. God, it's true. Oh, God. And you know what sucks is that she was my friend, too. Like, I liked her a lot before she became my boss. And, but yeah, she was just a nightmare to work for. I mean, constantly distracting me with phone calls and messages. That's the most frustrating thing is, what did this bitch do all day long? She sat on the phone. She was on the phone having personal conversations all day long. But, and also didn't know how to do my job. Let's see. Circa Droid. Yeah, no, you going to HR was correct 100%. Savannah Bloom, do you have a cat? I do. He's right here. His name is Binks. I remember you saying that in a video. Crazy how quickly relationships can change, man. Yeah. I will never speak to her again. Holy shit. If she didn't block me first on Facebook, I would have blocked her. I have bipolar 2, which is covered by the ADA, and I feel I cannot disclose my disability to any potential employer because of shitheels like your ex-supervisor. No, truly. I mean, listen, this is the advice that I got, which served me pretty well until this nosy cunt got a hold of me. But
basically do not disclose until they have hired you, and you yeah, don't disclose. If you're a temp, don't disclose. Wait until they hire you, and then only go to HR about it if you need accommodations. If you need accommodations, go to HR. Do not disclose what your issue is to anyone that you work with. That is not required. If you say, hey, because like for me with my ADHD and my, you know, recovery from drug addiction, and also I have complex PTSD. You know, so I was in therapy 3 times a week. So I needed an accommodation where I could go to therapy. And also, like, I don't know if you've ever heard of PTSD, but sometimes you have episodes where you're not able to work. And a lot of times you can stop yourself from having a flashback if you feel this buildup of emotion. If you stop and you re-regulate yourself, you can avoid a flashback. And so I would need to step away from my desk occasionally to go cry and eat a sandwich, so I didn't have to, you know, like just be thinking about how my brother molested me all day, you know? And, but like, how do you explain that to people? You don't. You don't. That's the point. You do not. You do not explain those things. Just go to HR if you need accommodations, and don't tell anybody what your health issue is. That's my honest advice. Hell yeah, our mental illnesses match. Yeah. Whoa. It's so fun, right? Back at the start of this live stream, when I had no viewers, I was talking about how being sober today made me want to drink myself to death. And be institutionalized or something. That's one thing. You know what's sad is that, so I've been in the mental hospital. Love being mentally ill in such a horrific, cruel world. Lol. Peace and love. Oh yeah, and also in a meaningless universe where it's just random. You didn't do anything to deserve this. Or in the case of PTSD, someone did it to you. In that case, my parents and my brother. Fire says, "Love you. I love you too, Fire. Thank you." But yeah, I've been in the mental hospital. Like when I was 19, I had a mental breakdown, or a nervous breakdown, and I was hospitalized like 5 or 6 times in 1 year, because I was gonna kill myself, and or I thought I was anyway. I don't know. Some of it was that. Some of it was just extreme loneliness, and you know, I think the thing that like drew me to that environment is that there's bedtime and wake up time, and they feed you and they check on you, and they check in with how you're feeling, and you're not allowed to leave, but you know, you have a lot of nice toys, and it created this like parental environment that I never had as a kid. And there was something so comforting to me about that. But like, yeah, also though, like, I don't know if I've ever said this online, but when I was 20, I was I had been imprisoned at a Harvard teaching hospital out in Massachusetts called McLean, and I'd been there for a month, and they said to me that they thought that I should live there. They wanted me to move in at age 20 and be a permanent resident of the mental hospital. And I left. I was in like a halfway house on the grounds of the hospital at the time, where like you could go outside and smoke cigarettes. I just got my ass out of there. I wandered away into town and never came back. And which sucked because I had to go cold turkey off of all of my meds, obviously, because they're not going to refill my prescription if I'm out against doctor's orders, right? But yeah, I left that day and I've never been back. But I got real close to going back a couple years ago when my grandfather died. But that's a long story. Yeah, so I don't know. I don't have very much materially to show for my life. Um, I don't own anything. I live in a studio apartment with my cat by myself. I've never had a serious long-term relationship. I have no children. Probably not going to have any. Um, and I'm working basically a pink collar job that's never going to pay me as much as, other people are making. But, um, when you consider it like that, like from me being 19, smoking crack, and being in the mental hospital every other month for a year, I haven't done too bad. Cause like I was one of those horror cases where like I didn't drink or do drugs all through high school, never touched them, was really curious about them, but never did them. And I smoked pot on the night of my senior prom, and within a year and a half, I was smoking crack. I was one of those people on the billboards, but like that's addiction. It just activates, and um, as I've been talking about today, it is still a major factor in my life that is causing me major distress. It never stopped. Let's see. Good job being sober. Thank you. You've come a long way. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Got a lot of miles. And I don't look too bad either. Really though, considering I smoked a pack a day for 17 years and was an alcoholic for 15, I don't look bad for 37, for real. like, if the world was fair, I would look 50. Did I already open that other beer? Slay, thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, because when I was having that mental breakdown when I was 19, it was like the year before Obama got elected. Like it was in the fucking Bush's second term that all that happened. Which is a joke that I make sometimes where I'll mention to somebody that I used to smoke crack, and I was like, yeah, just like for 1 or 2 summers during the Bush administration. Why did I throw all my clothes on the floor? That was stupid. And I didn't open that beer. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Fuck. Okay, it's almost 2. So I do have to get up at 8:30 tomorrow to be ready for my interview at 10. Let's see. Not to kiss ass, but you're definitely pretty, especially considering all that. Thank you. And I get that. I like people have told me that, but like I also have horrible body dysmorphia. Like I honestly think that there's thinking it and then there's like intellectually thinking something, but like my body dysmorphia tells me that my face is so deformed that I do not look like a human being, and that anyone who sees me is horrified and feels so pitiful towards me that they won't even mention it to me, that they just politely look the other way. Didn't ask for that. Thanks again, Dad. Let's see. Did you ever do whippets on K? No, I never did ketamine, actually. I never did ketamine that I'm aware of. But I did do a lot of whippets, yes. I remember one time, me and my friend, we were so poor. We had $0. And all we had was food stamps. And we were codependent. And so we were like, dude, there's gotta be a way for us to get high on food stamps, right? And so we bought a bunch of those whipped cream cans and just like huffed all night. It was crazy. It was so stupid. Speaking of which, I actually had an IQ test done recently, my 3-hour psych evaluation, and since I was offered membership to Mensa when I was 20. because I took the entrance exam. I was living in Boston, so I actually took the entrance exam at MIT. I didn't attend MIT, but I went there, and I sat in a room with fancy black chalkboards and a proctor, you know, walking around making sure you weren't cheating. I took the Mensa entrance exam. I was the first person done, and I got in. So, you know, I at that point, I paid for a professional IQ test because I just wanted to know, right? How smart am I? And now, almost 20 years later, I recently took an IQ test. My IQ has dropped 14 points since I was so smart when I was a kid. And I just have to think that it has to do with the crack and the alcohol and the huffing. Yeah, oof is right. Like, I used to be a genius. But not anymore. I'm basically 2 standard deviations above the norm now, which is not impressive. I don't want to know mine. I'll live in ignorance happily. Yeah, do that. It's not useful. It's not a useful thing to know on it. Well, I mean, it's kind of useful because it's like, okay, this is a conversation that is taboo and I'm not supposed to have, but I'll talk about it sometimes, which is that, you know, I've always been really smart. And like when I was a kid and we would do standardized tests, I would score in the 99th percentile of like everything. And then all through school, you can buy nitrous with food stamps. Whippets, babe. Babe, do you not know about old school whippets? You get them from whipped cream. You know the whipped cream can where you spray it on there? Where you like if you don't shake it up, if you don't spray it, and you just suck the air out of the top of the whipped cream can, that's nitrous. And you can get really high from that. That's, yeah, whippets. It's because it's from whipped cream. Reddit whippets. Baby, this was 2010. I used to do whippets in high school, like 2004. Ready whippets. There we go. Not Reddit. I see. And I'm not even high. That's crazy. Yeah, I didn't know you could get the government to pay for it. Ha ha ha. Yeah, you totally can. But yeah, that was not a cute time in my life. I had no money, which is why I'm like freaking out right now about being jobless, because like I was real deal living in poverty for about 10 years. Like $0, like going to the food bank, digging half-smoked cigarettes out of public ashtrays. There was a year where I lived on nothing but ramen noodles and tomato soup and apples. And no car, no way of leaving the city, no way of getting anywhere. And this was before Uber was invented. Think about that. There was no, I mean, in Minneapolis, we don't have like a real robust taxi system either. I mean, I just wound up like really dangerously riding my bike all over the city when I was like, you know, in my early to mid 20s. And yeah, so, and I mean, like, I was working this shitty retail job at the futon shop selling furniture, and they were paying me $11 an hour for like 29 hours a week. They wouldn't give me full-time hours. They wouldn't pay me more than poverty wages, no benefits, no paid time off, nothing. And like, I think that's something that a lot of people I've always felt this cultural divide between me and the other office workers, because most of the office workers that I work with were never poor. They went to college, they got college degrees, and they immediately entered the finance field, right? But I went the opposite way. I was living in poverty as an adult, and I mean no safety net, no one was paying for shit for me. And I've always been single. I've never had a partner to split expenses with. And for years and years and years and years, I never made more than $20,000 a year. And I was an alcoholic too. And I maintained being an alcoholic, a drug addict, and being addicted to cigarettes through all of that. And so, like, I could never save a dollar. I couldn't, you know, that this is one reason why I'm so averse to like thrift shopping now, is because for a long time, everything I owned was either given to me for free or was simply the cheapest thing at the thrift store. And, you know, people like my friends think that I'm like weird and bougie for that, but it's like, no, I have too much money to do that now. Because it's one thing when you're like middle class and you want to go thrifting, and it's another thing when you're living in poverty and that's your only access to clothing, and other home goods. Same, yeah. But yeah, that's like, it's a cultural divide between me and my now peers in this office work, is that they just went straight from middle class families to college and then entered the field. But I have knowledge. I have more knowledge about the world than they do, because I know that there is no safety net, and that, you know, nobody is gonna care if you are making poverty wages. No one is going to give you a hand up. You know, you might get a handout every now and again, but they will leave you there to rot. And if you fuck up and you don't have family to help you, you will die on the street, you know. And like, and that was a very real, tangible thing in my life for so long. Like, I slept on somebody's couch for 6 months. I didn't have an apartment. I slept on a guy's couch. And yeah, so I don't know. I think that's what's bothering me right now, is that like I've just gone through my savings so quickly. Like, I had $10,000. I had $10,000 saved in an emergency fund, and I was like, "Oh, fuck this job. Fuck you, bitch. I'm out of here. Like, bye, bye, bye." And I'm not looking for a job for a month because I'm going on vacation, a staycation, where I'm just gonna rest and recuperate from your stupid cunt ass. And it's been now, my last day at that job was September 25th. It is now November 22nd, and I'm not going to have enough money to pay rent and health insurance by the beginning of January. If I don't get a paycheck coming in December, I'm going to have to borrow money. I had $10,000. How does it happen? I had no idea. And you know what it was, really? It's the health insurance that fucked me. I had no idea how expensive health insurance was, because getting benefits from my last job, I didn't, I mean, to be perfectly honest with you, before that I was poor. I didn't have health insurance. I didn't pay for health insurance. I didn't have it. Whenever I would get a bill from, you know, I used the emergency room as my doctor, and whenever I would get a bill, I'd just throw it in the trash. Like, what are you gonna do? Buy me? You're gonna take my blanket? I don't own anything. What do I need credit for? Like, I'm ever gonna be able to buy a house or a car, you know? Yeah, so I like basically my attitude towards paying my bills for a long time is like, find me, bitch. I'm off the grid. You don't even know where I live. I haven't signed a lease anywhere. Yeah. Let's see. Savannah said, do you make art or do other creative thingies? It's difficult kind of to say. I mean, I guess I consider myself more of like a writer and an editor. And like, I guess with my blog, I've always kind of thought of myself as like a curator of internet pictures. Well, I play the piano. I played the piano for 30 years, so yeah. But that's not like I'm not a creative player. I can read sheet music, but I can't think of a tune to save my life. And I don't know, it's I guess part of having PTSD too is that creativity center gets shut down somehow. So like I tried to play D&D some years ago, and like I just could not play pretend like that. I hated it. I hated it so much. But yeah. And one of the best image curators. Yes, thank you. I will say I do have the best blog on Tumblr. Um, which, like, you know, you gotta take what you can get. Well, and you know, during this last election, oh my god, it was like so much drama between the people that I knew, because it's like some people were uh obviously I don't hang out with any Trump supporters. No, you know, that's not gonna happen. But half of my friends were voting for Harris, and then like half of my friends were not gonna vote as a protest. Um, and like all of the people who were gonna vote were fucking angry at the non-voters, and the non-voters were angry at the voters because how can you support a genocide? And like what was I? God, I don't remember why I started talking about this. See, this is what I need to get back from the marijuana. It stunted my brain. Why was I talking about that? Fuck. I've been losing words. I'd be pretty pissed at people for not voting. Like, I get it, but yeah, well, and the hilarious thing is that in the end, they all voted. They all voted for Harris. Not voting is just letting someone choose for you, I fear. Yeah, I mean, I understand why someone wouldn't vote. I completely get it, actually, and I think that I think that it's a moral thing to do. But just to say that, you know, I am not going to participate in this political system that murders people every single day. We're literally the baddies, and not in a hot way. We're the bad guys. And I bet you'd be pretty good at making art, though. You know, I've done a collage here and there. It's pretty good. I thought, you know, I wrote some poems. See, I have really bad hand-eye coordination, so I can't draw or paint or anything like that. But I can collage, and I used to do Photoshops. That I secretly I know how to Photoshop pretty well as well. Like, I used to just have people send me random prompts into my blog, and then I would just make those images. It's pretty good. I should have made merch when I was more popular. Wasted opportunity. But, God, why was I talking about voting? Let's see. All the fighting to get our rights to vote just to not do it in protest. Yeah, you know, honestly, I think that what changed my mind about voting, and I voted, just to be clear. I kind of wobbled back and forth, but I decided pretty early on that I was going to vote for Kamala Harris. Trump was never an option. Have I told you that Donald Trump actually personally screwed my family over? But anyway, you know, I think that something that really changed my view of our political system was I read Emma Goldman's autobiography. And if you don't know who Emma Goldman is, she is the baddest bitch who has ever lived. She was a Russian Jewish immigrant to New York in the 1880s. And she became a radical anarchist. She believed in sexual freedom and in free love. She hated the rich and was actively trying to kill them. She had two boyfriends, right? And they were running an ice cream parlor together, all three of them. They owned an ice cream parlor. And they heard about this guy named Henry Clay Frick, who was a factory owner. and he his workers were striking, and he hired I don't know if they were cops or just mercenaries or whatever, but he hired a bunch of thugs to come in and beat the shit out of and like kill Henry Clay Frick, that fucking bastard, right? To like fuck up the people unionizing. I believe he killed some people, and so Emma Goldman was like, absolutely not. Pinkertons, yes, exactly. Emma Goldman was like, let's kill this guy. And so she and her two boyfriends, using their ice cream parlor as a cover for their, for what they were doing, decided to build a bomb. And they would, at the time, New York had these islands around it that were just uninhabited, right? So they'd row out to an island and they would do bomb testing, like trying to make a bomb to kill this factory owner. And for some reason, the bomb failed, right? The bomb idea failed for some reason. So one of her lovers just had a gun and was like, all right, babe, I'm off. I'm gonna go murder this fuck. And it's like, they're partying at the train station. She's so proud of him. And he did shoot him. He did shoot Henry Clay Frick. And then incredibly, he was tackled, and then on his way down, he also had a knife and he stabbed him too. But Henry lived, and that man went to jail for a very long time. And then later, Emma Goldman was arrested for the assassination of William McKinley, because one of her followers, freaking Henry, right? One of her followers was so inspired by her message that he assassinated the president. And I learned a lot from this book. I learned a lot because, one, the dynamic between the rich and the poor has barely changed. The wealth inequality is worse now than it was then. And her philosophy was basically like, I refuse to participate in this system. I am going to do everything I can to kill our oppressors, and you can jail me, whatever. I'm just gonna get out and I'm gonna start performing abortions. She's performing abortions. She's providing birth control to prostitutes. She lived in an apartment building that was just for prostitutes. She wasn't a prostitute. She just was sincerely about it, and I admire her so much. And reading her book changed my perspective of the United States government, and that was years ago, and my views on wealth inequality and the rich and how this country is run, I get why someone wouldn't vote. I did, because Orange Man bad. But and the funny thing, the thing is that it just doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter who you vote for, really. Not in my state. Minnesota was a lock for Harris. I didn't even have to go out there, but I did it anyway. Because Minnesota is weirdly civically active. We had the highest voter participation in the country again this year. Even though Harris was a lock in Minnesota, we had 79% voter turnout, which, if you're not from the United States, is insane. We were 3 percentage points above the second state, the second highest voter participation. It's the average voter participation in this country is 55% or something. So it's just, you just do vote. Which is why it's so funny that my non-voting friends just did wind up voting anyway, because it's basically really taboo not to vote in Minnesota. You just do it. And then I was wondering, is it because it's polite? Is it because it's non-confrontational? I don't know. Oh, well, okay, so it's 2:15. I do have to log off now because I have my job interview at 10. And I need my beauty sleep, especially after the sleep I had last night.
So I'm gonna take some Xanax because even though I'm sober, oh, I have the hiccups from my fake beer. This is the best fake beer that there is. Athletic Free Wave Hazy IPA. Good luck with your interview. Hoping for the best. Good luck with your interview. Thanks for the stream. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you, Sarah. It's like I can only go so long being unemployed. I'm a fucking gem. I'm a former genius. I have confidence. I'm hilarious. Hire me. I'm shocked it hasn't happened yet. It's really nice listening to you. Get that job. Yay. Okay. All of you guys get some jobs too. Good luck on your sobriety, friends. And maybe we can meet up later in the land of having a paycheck. All right. Have a good night. Bye. Oh, wait. I don't know how to turn it off. Ah! Okay, bye.